Hey everybody, and welcome to another deep dive. This time we're taking a look at all the news and excitement surrounding the new Avatar series, Avatar 7 Haven. Now, as you guys know, this is a brand new series coming out after Korra, and it's going to explore a totally new era in the Avatar world. So to get into all of this, we have an expert on all things Avatar with us today.
Hey everybody, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, this news is extra exciting because it comes as we're celebrating the 20th anniversary of the original series, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I know, it's hard to believe it's been 20 years since we first met Aang and the gang.
I know, right? Like 2 decades of bending and those great stories and characters that we all love so much. And now we're getting this whole new chapter. But here's the thing. This isn't just like a continuation of what we've seen before. Seven Haven seems to be taking a bit of a darker and more mysterious turn.
Yeah, I think that's what has so many people intrigued. Like, you take the new Avatar, for example. We're hearing she's an earthbender this time, a young girl. But get this, she's being described as humanity's destroyer, not its savior.
Whoa, that is a huge change from the traditional, heroic Avatar that we're used to.
Right. So it makes you wonder what happened on the time between Korra and this new...
Yeah, like what could possibly have turned the world against the Avatar?
And it gets even more interesting.
Okay, lay it on me.
This new Avatar, she has a twin.
What?
Yeah. And they're both being hunted.
Hunted by who?
By humans and spirits.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we've got twins, a destroyer avatar, and some serious enemies out there. This is already sounding pretty intense.
Yeah, it definitely suggests a really complex backstory. And the stakes are definitely higher than ever.
Okay, so before we go any further, I think we need to break down that we know for sure, like the actual confirmed details about Seven Haven. So first of all, we know that this is officially happening. Nickelodeon has confirmed a 26-episode 2D animated series, and it's being created by the original creators Michael DiMartino and Brian Konietzko.
Yeah, that right there is huge. I mean, having the original creators back at the helm, that gives fans a lot of confidence that this new series is going to stay true to the spirit and quality of the original shows.
Absolutely. It just wouldn't be the same without them, So, okay, the series picks up after The Legend of Korra. Remember Republic City, all those crazy spirit vines?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can forget about all that. The world of Seven Havens, it's like a completely different landscape.
Yeah, I was just going to say that the sources keep mentioning this cataclysm.
Cataclysm?
Yeah, like some kind of major disaster that just ravaged the world.
Oh, wow.
We're talking energy storms, fractured landscapes, just total devastation. And the remnants of civilization are basically huddled together in these mysterious Seven Havens.
Seven Havens.
Yeah, which are like the last strongholds of humanity.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, I'd say that's a far cry from the world that we saw in The Last Airbender and even in Korra.
Right. This is a world in survival mode, and it seems like the old rules and power structures have been totally upended. And then into all this chaos comes this new Avatar who is feared, not revered.
Yeah, and she's not alone. We've got 2 of them, twin avatars.
It's a first in the Avatar universe, right?
It is. It raises so many questions.
Like, do they share the Avatar spirit? Are they working together, or are they rivals?
Yeah, and what does this mean for the nature of the Avatar itself? What happens when you have 2 individuals who could potentially embody this incredible power?
Yeah, does it create some kind of new balance, or does it actually lead to more conflict?
So much to think about. We have this shattered world, this feared Avatar, and the mystery of these twins.
Yeah.
This is a lot to process.
I think the biggest thing to keep in mind is that this series seems to be challenging everything we thought we knew about what it means to be the Avatar.
Right.
Like, we're used to seeing the Avatar as this symbol of hope and unity. But what happens when that symbol gets broken?
That's a great point. It's like the creators are intentionally flipping the script on it, making us reconsider everything we thought we knew about the Avatar and their role in the world.
Exactly. And that's where things get really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Because if the Avatar is no longer seen as a savior, then what does that mean?
Okay, so what do you guys think? What are your initial reactions to all of this? What stands out to you as the most intriguing part of Avatar 7 Haven so far? Let us know in the comments below. And stay tuned because we're going to be diving even deeper into this new Avatar series. We'll be right back after a quick break.
So, we've talked a lot about this whole, Avatar as a destroyer, but there's actually more. It's not just about her, being feared. It seems like the whole world of Seven Havens is like not just physically shattered, but like the whole social and political landscape has been completely reshaped too.
Oh, okay. I'm listening. What makes you say that?
Well, remember how the world was always divided into the 4 nations, right? The Water Tribes, Earth Kingdom, Fire Nation, Air Nomads. Well, it seems like those distinctions, they're gone now.
Wait, you're saying the 4 nations are gone? Like, what happened to it?
That's the big question, isn't it? The sources we have, they don't really give us specifics, but it's clear that something major, something drastic enough to completely dismantle the old world order, So now we have these 7 Avens, and it makes you wonder, how did them come to be? What's their connection to the 4 nations?
Yeah, I mean, are we talking about the nations being literally wiped out? Or could it be something more like, I don't know, emerging, like people had to band together to survive, so the old divisions kind of dissolved?
That's definitely a possibility. Maybe the cataclysm, whatever it was, maybe it forced the remnants of the four nations to come together.
Right.
Maybe old rivalries didn't matter so much anymore when everyone was facing this common enemy.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's something totally different. Maybe the Seven Havens represent like entirely new factions that formed after the disaster, completely separate from the old nation.
Okay, so we have this world rebuilding itself, forging a new identity.
Exactly.
It really makes you think about how the bending arts have adapted to all this. I mean, if the nations are gone, have their bending styles changed too?
Now, that's a great question, and it kind of ties into something else I noticed in the source. It seems like these twin avatars, they grew up in totally different environments. Like, one of them was apparently raised by the White Lotus.
So more traditional upbringing?
Yeah, exactly. While the other twin seems to have grown up on the street.
Wow, okay. So we have one twin who's probably been immersed in, the history and philosophy of the Avatar and all that, and another who's had to learn to survive in this crazy world. That's bound to create some conflict.
Oh, for sure. And it makes me wonder about their bending styles, too.
Right.
Like, would the streetwise twin have a more pragmatic style, maybe even unorthodox, while the White Lotus twin might be more, by the book?
Yeah, almost like we're getting two avatars for the price of one.
Right.
We could see a clash of bending philosophies, maybe even some fusion of styles.
And it's not just about the bending either. Think about their world.
Right.
How would those totally different upbringings shape their understanding of the Avatar?
Good point.
Would they even agree on what it means to be the Avatar in this new world?
This is also fascinating. We have this world that's broken physically and socially, and then these twin avatars who are like embodiments of that brokenness. It's like a mirror reflecting back these themes of division and reunification.
Exactly. Then don't forget, they're not adults like Aang or Korra were. These are kids, maybe 9 or 10 years old, who are suddenly thrust into this massive responsibility.
Yeah, that's got to be tough. I mean, it's hard enough being a kid without having the weight of the world on your shoulders, but these twins have to deal with that and master the elements and face all these dangerous enemies and try to unite a fractured world.
Talk about pressure, right?
Seriously.
And speaking of enemies, we know they're being hunted by both humans and spirits.
Right?
Which brings us back to that question.
What happened during Korra's time?
What could have been so devastating, so world-altering, that it created this widespread fear and distrust of the Avatar?
It's like a mystery that keeps getting deeper the more we learn.
Totally agree.
I mean, we're talking about a world where people are so terrified of the Avatar that they're willing to hunt down two children who haven't even had a chance to, prove themselves. It feels like everything we talk about keeps coming back to Korra. Like her absence is just looming over everything we're learning about Seven Haven.
I know, right? It's the biggest missing piece of the puzzle. And the sources we have are so vague about what happened to her.
Right. It just makes the speculation run wild,
Oh, yeah.
Like I've seen some pretty crazy theories online.
Oh, me too.
Like some people think she's trapped in the spirit world.
Yeah.
Maybe even became a spirit herself.
Oh, wow.
Others are saying she sacrificed her bending to stop the cataclysm or even her life.
It's definitely interesting to think about.
It is.
But when you think about Korra's character, she was always pushing boundaries, challenging expectations. She really redefined what it meant to be the Avatar.
Totally. She was not afraid to break the mold, so whatever happened to her, it can't be something ordinary. It has to be something big, something that really changed the world.
Yeah, something that shifted.
Right.
And remember, Korra's journey was full of conflict. She faced some really powerful enemies, both human and spirit, and she made some tough choices, like permanently merging the human and spirit.
That was a huge decision. Do you think the cataclysm could be like a direct result of those open spirit portals?
It's possible. Maybe merging the worlds had consequences we couldn't foresee,
Right.
like an imbalance of energy. Or maybe it allowed new threats to emerge.
And if that's the case, maybe the world blames Korra.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why the new Avatar is seen as a destroyer, because she represents that legacy of destruction that's associated with Korra.
That would definitely put the twins in a tough spot. Not only do they have to deal with this shattered world, but they also have to deal with the weight of history,
Right.
The perception that the Avatar is a force of destruction instead of balance.
It's like they're inheriting a broken world and a broken legacy.
Exactly.
No wonder they're being hunted.
It really makes you think about themes of redemption and forgiveness.
Yeah.
Can these twins overcome the mistakes of the past? Can they restore faith in the Avatar and help the world heal?
Those are big questions. I guess we'll have to wait and see how the creators explore them in Seven Havens. But for now, the mystery of Korra's fate is still unsolved.
It is.
And it's probably going to bug us until we get some answers.
Oh, for sure.
But that's okay.
Sometimes the best stories leave you with more questions than answers.
True.
It keeps us thinking and theorizing and wanting more.
So while we wait for Seven Havens to premiere, let's keep those theories coming. What do you think happened to Korra? How will her absence shape the story of these new avatars? And what does it all mean for the future of the Avatar world?
We've covered a lot today. but the conversation is just getting started. Share your thoughts, your insights, your wildest, because the best part of exploring a world like this is sharing that experience with other fans.
So until next time, keep bending, keep exploring, and keep that Avatar spirit burning bright.